Hey everyone, it's the Chaplain here, coming to you with a quick thank you video. I say quick, probably not going to be very quick. So this video has been long due, and I sincerely apologize to everyone that has been waiting for this to drop. I am so seriously sorry. My life has just been completely crazy trying to recover from the tournament last month, almost a month ago. It has just been a whirlwind of work and family and preparation and cleaning and etc., etc. In fact, just about 10 days ago, I was able to unpack my crates from the tournament and lay everything out on my table and finally kind of get a picture of what it took to throw this whole thing together. Then I started unpacking boxes, trying to find homes for things. I've got to store the clocks until next year, right? Got to make sure there's no batteries in them so that they don't corrode and destroy the clocks. And I have to make sure that the pieces are right. I'm actually in process right now of counting every single piece box. I've done all of France and China, making sure that I'm not missing any pieces. Some pieces are broken. They're plastic. Who cares? I'm not missing anything. Just, you know, stuff gets used. But this way, if I keep these up and keep them counted and make sure that nobody messes with them, then, hey, this is ready to go for next year. Or for a pop-up game, which will have more information on that coming soon. The purpose of this video is to share my deepest, sincerest, heartfelt gratitude for those of you who came alongside my wife and I to partner with us for this event and make it happen. This year was already exponentially better than what we did last year. We had double the amount of players. We had a larger space. We had 8 tables instead of 4. We had an amazing time. The gold and silver game was great. The bronze and iron game was great. Every other game was great. On day 3, those that weren't in the medal rounds were play testing Madman and Moose Cow's 1914 game, along with some other games. I think there was even a Korean War game by our friend Dustin, or potentially by HBG, and Dustin fixed it. So anyway, I have a list over here, and I'm going to try not to attack my table. I have a list over here, and I'm going to try to keep this as succinct as I can. And I'm going to say something about every single person. There are some that don't want their name dropped, and that's perfectly fine. If I don't say your name and you wanted me to say your name, just comment. I might have gotten you mixed up with somebody that said, please don't mention my name. So first I wanted to start off by thanking Doug and the team at historicalboardgaming.com. Doug actually even came up to the event this year and graced us with his presence. He was able to meet a bunch of the guys that are just buying his stuff and really relishing his product. Doug was a guy that I reached out to and said, hey, I'm doing this tournament. Would you be interested in donating some prizes? And he said, yeah, I'll send some prizes. And he gave me a dollar amount and said, go crazy with that. And then he sent more stuff on top of that. Doug is just a very generous guy, very good to our community. And I honestly don't have enough nice things to say about him. He's just a top-notch guy. If I continue to talk about Doug, it would seem like I'm playing favoritism, so I won't do that. Plus, we don't have a lot of time. So, Doug, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate everything that you did for BBR St. Louis #2, and I'm looking forward to partnering with you again in St. Louis 3. Next up is Rich from combatminiatures.org. My guy Rich down in Texas. He was a participant this year as well as a donor, a sponsor. A lot of our items also came from Rich, and he just went above and beyond. He sent prizes. He even made these awesome St. Louis notebooks with our BBR St. Louis logo and a list of our donors on the back. These were exclusive to the tournament. I was able to procure 2 of them for myself and a few for my donors and sponsors. I sent them out. But we have a list of our donors and sponsors on the back. So I am just ecstatic, over the moon. This is a dot notebook, which I love. So anyway, Rich made a lot of stuff for us this year, and he again is just also a great guy. and really top-notch. He works really hard at his business, combatminiatures.org, and I don't have enough nice things to say about Rich. And if I just kept talking about Rich, it would look like I'm showing favoritism. So because our time is short, thank you, Rich, from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate everything that you did. Next up is a guy that I don't know if you know or not. I haven't seen him on YouTube. In fact, I met him on Facebook by posting about this tournament in the Access and Allies Facebook page. His name is Ben Apo, and he's from Idaho. Ben and I started chatting about this sponsorship, and he just said, look, man, what do you need? And I sent him a list, and I sent him another list, and another list, and another list, and said, I don't know what you want to help out with or how much you want to invest. Ben sent a lot of money to make this thing happen. He, by far, sent one of the top amounts, one of our top givers for this event. Ben, I cannot say thank you enough, man. Without your help, this would not have happened. And he's just a guy in the community. He doesn't have a business, you know, like the first two guys. He goes to craft shows with his wife on the weekends, which I just love. I think that's so awesome. And he is just a top-notch guy. Again, from the conversations that we've had, he is just a very generous, very kind guy. And Ben, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for your involvement in this year's event. Then there's a guy named Robert Schoengert, and he is the co-owner of a little place here in town called Two Plumbers Brewery and Arcade. He is an Axis and Allies fan. If you don't know, if you're not in the area, it's okay, but if you are in the area, in St. Charles, Missouri, there's a little place called Two Plumbers Brewery and Arcade. And Monday through Saturday, you can go there, you can get beer, you can get pizza, you can get soda, and you can play pinball, you can play arcade. They have all kinds of games, and they have a wall of board games. And this is how I found out that Robert was an Axis and Allies fan. There's actually a boxed game of Axis and Allies on their shelf at Two Plumbers. So long time ago, I befriended him on Facebook, and we started chatting, and then I posted on my Facebook, my personal Facebook page, about this event and sponsorship, and he said, hey, count Two Plumbers in. And so I was like, great, man, great. And so then we started messaging, and he asked me what I needed. I sent him the lists. He said, how about I just send you money? I said, great. So if you attended the event this year, you can thank Robert at Two Plumbers Brewery and Arcade for providing our STL cups, these double insulated tumblers with straws. He donated the money to purchase the cups. Everyone at the event got one of these cups. Some people ended up leaving theirs behind, which is okay. They got taken. Other people are like, hey, yeah, I'll take two. That's great. So Robert donated the money, and we were able to purchase these cups for everybody. We didn't have throwaway cups this year. We were able to save the environment a little bit, and everyone got something because everyone got a cup. So thank you so much to Robert for that. Next up, I want to talk about my friend Steve from Wolf's Den Designs. I can't remember if it's Wolf's Den's Designs or Wolf's Den Designs, but if you are part of the Access and Allies community on Facebook, you have seen his work. The man just paints his tail off. And I'm telling you what, there are some exquisite pieces. He donated some painted pieces for us as prizes this year. And Steven, thank you so much for your support and for your help this year, man. It was much appreciated. People loved your pieces. Next up, I want to talk about my friend, Mr. Scrubert. This guy also donated painted pieces. He's currently overseas, serving in our National Guard, I believe, part of the Missouri National Guard. Mr. Scrubert is a good friend of mine. He came up to one of my events that I hosted at church 2-3 years ago, and we've just been friends ever since. And he donated some painted pieces. Ben, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, dude. I am so grateful for you and your time invested in painting these pieces, and thank you for serving our country presently, not just in the past. You are actively serving, deployed overseas. Dude, we missed you at this year's tournament, and hopefully you can make it to the next one. Next up is Sky Marshal, formerly known as Panzer King. This Canadian gentleman, my friend James, was able to send us just these beautiful, beautiful pieces. He sent a couple of British and American battleships and submarines, German submarines, on placards. If you've ever been to his channel, you've seen some of these. They are just exquisitely painted. And obviously he sent a Japanese set with some beautiful Japanese planes. I know you can't see them because my big head's in the way. Can I zoom in with the face? No, I can't. But anyway, right up here, I have my own collection of Panzer King planes because they're just so beautiful. James, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, guy. I really appreciate it. Next up is Moffett Field. Now, this was the first time I'd ever met Moffett Field, Mr. Gelso. Some of you know who this guy is, some of you don't. If you know him, you don't forget him. So I was like, hey man, you're coming to St. Louis this year? And he goes, yeah. And he told me a long time ago that he wanted to donate some painted pieces. I forgot. I did. And so then at the tournament, like the first day, he came to the Friday night mixer and he goes, hey man, don't forget about those painted pieces. I was like, oh yeah, well, what do you want to do? And he said, I'll paint 10 pieces for anybody of any nation, whatever they want. That's a pretty dope prize. If you've never seen his channel, you should head over to his channel and check it out. I'm going to try to remember to link all these in the description box. Might not happen, but I'll try. Anyway, he donated some painted pieces. So Steven, thank you so much for your involvement. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you, dude. Also, side note, I don't know if he wants me to share this or not. But if you know Gelso, you know that he's a bit sarcastic sometimes. And sometimes his humor might rub people the wrong way, intentionally or unintentionally. But he got in town a little bit early, and he was walking around downtown St. Charles, and we have a nice cobblestone walk, a nice cobblestone drive, and because of where he was in town, I said, hey man, go pick up some fudge. And he actually brought me some fudge from St. Charles, and I was just over the moon excited. My wife was very appreciative of it as well. He just went and got me fudge. Super nice guy. Next up on my list is my guy, CJ. CJ, man, I just don't have enough nice things to say about CJ. I met him a few years ago when he attended a game I hosted at my church. We met on Facebook through another friend, Greg, who was his partner this year. And last, CJ is just a great guy. He donated the money for me to be able to build all of my tables. I built 6 tables this year for our 8 tables. And I'll get to the other 2 later. He's on my list too. But CJ donated, he's like, hey man, what do you think you could build a table for? And then he gave me a little bit more and said, if there's any extra, you've got it covered. So I was able to build 6 tables, 7 foot by 4 foot roughly, for a tournament with rails, kind of like mine, just some rails and stuff. And you can put your boxes in here, etc. And he just, here you go. And on top of that, he gave a little bit more to help out with prizes, and I don't know if he wants me to say how much, but it was significant. CJ, this year would not have happened without you, man. I'm so appreciative. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, dude. I'm so grateful for you. Next up on my list is my cousin, Tiffany. Tiffany has been following my posts, my YouTube, etc., and she reached out to me one day and she was like, hey, what do I need to do to be part of this, to be one of your sponsors, one of your donors? I was like, I've still got some things I need to buy. What are you looking to do? And so she just sent me some money. And so Tiffany, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your funds were able to help purchase the stickers that went on every single one of our cups. This beautiful sticker. So thank you so much, Tiff. Next up on my list is a lady by the name of Sue Thomas. Now, long story short, Sue is a friend of the family. She is my mother-in-law's best friend. And she heard that I was stressing out about having enough coffee for the event. And so Sue just straight up sent me some money and said, get whatever you need. And so Sue, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You were able to help us procure the right amount of creamers for this event, because while most of them drank black coffee, drinked is the right. While most of the guys drank black coffee, there were a few that needed some cream. So Sue, thank you so much. Next up is a lady by the name of Rachel Payne. Most of these people, by the way, you've probably never heard of. A lady by the name of Rachel Payne. I met Rachel when I was a bus driver. She was in the bus next to me, and she has 3 wonderful boys, and we just developed a friendship, and she straight up bought every ounce of coffee that we drank. She literally bought it all. And she just, hey, I want to do this for you. And I was just so over the moon. I was stressed about coffee for a while because the hotel wanted to charge us $10 per AirPod, and Rachel just goes, no, that's ridiculous. And I said, yeah, I agree. So she just said, hey, how much do you think that you'll drink? And so I did some math after we did our refreshment survey, and she said, here you go. She had Amazon deliver just lots of coffee to my house. And we were able to give that to the hotel, and they were able to brew it at no cost. So thank you so much, Rachel. This literally would not have been nearly as rage-fueled without you and your contribution. So thank you so much for doing that. Next up on my list is a guy I can't remember if he said he wanted to be mentioned or not, and I don't know if he'll care, but there was a guy that heard I needed more pieces because I went from 6 tables to 8 tables, and I didn't have that many, and so he bought me a complete G40 set, and so thank you to my new friend Chris Ironsides. He sent me an entire game December of last year, or maybe November, and dude, I'm so grateful for you. If you hadn't have done that, it would have come out of somewhere else, and we would not have had as good of an experience as we did, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. Next is my friend Corporal Clegg. This guy, his YouTube channel is great. He's very analytical. He made a video called Are Cruisers for Losers? And anytime anyone asks on a Facebook page about cruisers, I link them his video. Corporal Clegg actually sent us enough money to purchase one of our clocks that we needed. I had 4 from last year's event. I needed to buy 4 more, and he donated an entire clock. So thank you so much, Corporal Clegg, for that. I greatly appreciate it. Next up on my list is Lieutenant Dan. If you're part of the BBR world at all, you know who Lieutenant Dan is. This man took the BBR map by Sired Blood, and he added historical details. He added battles. He added casualties. He added all kinds of stuff, and it just enhanced the already beautiful and wonderful BBR map. Lieutenant Dan made a one-of-a-kind map for us, just for our event. It said BBR St. Louis on it. It was a propaganda-style map. It was really, really cool. And you might see some elements of that map on future maps, but it was a one-of-a-kind. It was beautiful. I can't remember who won it, though, for the life of me. I want to say it might have been Big Will, either that or he won the Global War 36 map. But, oh gosh, I can't remember now. Time, it doesn't matter. Don't waste time. Anyway, Lieutenant Dan. Dude, from the bottom of my heart, dude, thank you so much for donating that map. It was a treasure to behold with my eyes. I love that map. And if you haven't seen it, again, I'm going to try to link all the channels and stuff, but instead of linking his channel, I'm just going to link his video for this prize map, his own propaganda for the propaganda map. Next up is my guy Joel up in Canada, Gargantua. As some of you might know him, he actually purchased an entire lunch for us. We had budgeted to buy 3 lunches, and because of some different circumstances, I was like, all right, well, we got to chimp out on one of these. We got to back out of one. And so I was going to make the Monday lunch completely different. But he stepped up and he goes, I'm going to buy an entire day's lunch. I don't know if you know this, but feeding 36 dudes is expensive. He bought our heavy smoke barbecue lunch. Now, if you don't know much about barbecue, this is the best barbecue you've ever had. If you do know a lot about barbecue, this might still be the best barbecue you ever had. We had heavy smoke on Sunday. It was wonderful. Gargantua was throwing down heavy smoke and hoping we could get through and lay down some covering fire. And I had a little spiel that I accidentally gave on Saturday because I thought that was what we were having for lunch that day. It wasn't. It was Sunday. So Garg, Joel, dude, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, man. It would not have been the event that it was without your help. I so greatly appreciate you and all that you did there. Next up is my guy Hambone. He didn't say don't mention him, but I'm going to mention him. Or because he didn't say don't mention me, I'm going to mention him. He tossed some extra money our way that actually helped us so greatly in renting the room that we had to upgrade to. Previously, last year, we were at the Best Western, and if we booked X amount of rooms, we got the room for free. And then we had the roof cave in because rain and they were working on the roof, etc. So we didn't quite get it for free, but because of the damage that almost was done, they gave us a great discount. So we were going to go back there this year with the same deal. But then when I opened registration and then had to close it 6 days later, we already had 29 people monetarily registered, ready to go, and nobody wanted to be in a pair of or a team of 3. Nobody wanted that. So I was like, oh, crap, we got to have more tables. I don't know how to do this. We have to upgrade their space. And he said, don't worry, man. I got you. We'll help out. I got you. So Hambone, thank you so much, dude. It seriously would not have happened without your help either, man. I'm just so grateful for you. And not just that, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Hambone is like wicked smart. My guy knows all the rules all the time, even other games. He's very smart and he's very kind. So when you make a mistake, he's not like, oh, you screwed up. Ugh. He's like, hey, you can't do that. He's very, very generous, very kind, very helpful, and he's a smart guy. So dude, thank you so much again from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you and all that you did. Next up on my list, Triple Crown, Jeremy. My guy sent me some registration money for the event and a little bit extra. Some people will toss 20 extra bucks here at registration. At this year's was $80, and a couple people sent 100, just a little extra, which was nice and very helpful. He went above and beyond that. And dude, I just in the last few weeks have been hearing stories of your generosity across the community, and I am just so grateful because what you did was and enabled me to get more things that made our experience better. And so I'm so grateful for you, Jeremy. Thank you so much, dude. I sincerely appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, man. I'm so grateful for you and your involvement in St. Louis too this year. Next up on my list is Admiral Balch, my guy David, Killmonger, as I like to call him. He spent an entire day with me building my tables. I went to his house. There was still ice on the ground. We worked outside for a little bit, and then we worked inside. We ripped down all the wood. We cut it to size. We went inside, and Brad nailed it and glued it and nailed it, etc., and did all the measuring, etc., etc. And he helped me build all 6 of those tables. And it might not look like much, but it was a lot of work, and it was a lot of fun. And I just appreciate your time and your efforts and your energy. And his wife made lasagna for us to eat that day, which was wonderful. I was not expecting that. So he not only helped me build my tables, but he fed me. So thank you so much, dude. From the bottom of my heart, man. It would have happened without you, but it would have been a lot more stress on me and a lot less quality. So, dude, I appreciate you. Thanks. Next up on my list is my guy John, Mr. Schmidt. John reached out to me and asked how I was doing on tables and maps and materials and this and that and the other. And at the time, I had just moved from 6 tables to 8. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to build 2 more tables. I got to get some money for 2 more tables. I can't do this. And he goes, hey, I have 3 tables at my house. I'll just bring them. I was like, sweet. And then it turns out he ended up just building 2 fresh ones for us. And he still has the 3 at his house. And he just above and beyond. He 3D printed air bases, naval bases, major and minor. He printed barrels and damage markers and resource markers, and he sent just a ton of it to me. And I used it as grab bag prizes. I used some of it on the tables. It was so wonderful and so great. And dude, by the way, your air and naval bases were a huge hit. Everyone is asking me where I got them, and I've been giving out your phone number. I hope that's okay. But John, dude, I'm so appreciative of you, and thank you so much for all that you did, man. It would not have helped, or it would not have happened without your help. He also 3D printed me some boxes. Hold on. Look at this. Look. Oh, I buried them. I'm trying to put stuff away and I buried them. Hold on. Here we go. For chips, you've got gray. I don't have a green chip, and red. And every single table had one of these, and it's low profile enough. And it fits on the table with no problem. And so he did that. At first he was printing them gray, and then he goes, hey, I've got the right colors. I'll just make you the right colors. And I was like, yes, that's awesome. So John, thank you so much again from the bottom of my heart, man. Next up on my list is Matt Todd. Matt Todd sent one of these sublimation printed IPC trackers for version 4. I got mine as a prize from a ham bone giveaway, but he sent one of those as a prize. He sent roundels and stuff as prizes. Matt also hooked us up with our Victory Point roundels, a lot of them. He just above and beyond was like, hey, I've got this. I'm going to send it your way. And I was like, okay, well, what do I owe you? And he goes, oh, this one's on me. And I was like, dang. Not that I'm surprised that people are generous, but it's just always, I'm a believer, right? So I'm blessed to just have people be on my team and help me out. And Matt, just thank you so much, dude. Next up on my list is, he doesn't want his name said, but he reached out to me about 10 days before the tournament, and he's like, hey man, do you need anything else? Do you need any materials? Do you need any this or that? And I was like, nah, man, I think we're covered. I think I got it. And he goes, okay. Is there anything that you want? I was like, want? Always. I always have a list of things that I want to make things better and you know, enhance the experience. And he goes, well, send me the list. Okay. So I sent him the list, and he goes, buy it. I'll PayPal you the money. my guy. Like, you know who you are. And if you know who he is, don't tell anyone. But I'm just so grateful. And not only that, but this person is always going above and beyond. Always helpful, to me at least. I don't know. I would assume that this person is above and beyond in almost anything that they do because of their attitude when they do it. So thank you so much. Next, I want to thank Sired Blood. Dude made a wonderful game. Like, it's such a great game. He took this game that we love and he made it better. And not only did he make it better, but he made it playable in one day. So now you can play 3 games over a 3-day weekend. Like, that's crazy. And if you play the 1942 setup, you can play more because it's a shorter game. He gave me his blessing 2 years ago to start BBR St. Louis, and he has just always been in support of this. And if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for this game, I would not be hosting G40 tournaments. Would not happen. So Sired Blood, dude, we love your product. Like, product. We love what you did, man. And this huge community, just, dude, we support you. And we're here. And we are playing your game, dude. I'm not playing G40 anymore. I've played Grasshopper's game, too. And that's good, too. But, dude, I just love BBR. And I'm so grateful for you for making this game, dude. I cannot thank you enough. And I don't know that anybody in the community would think they could thank you enough for making this wonderful game. The next person I want to thank is Miss Kell. And I know this video is dragging on. I'm going to end up chopping some of it, whatever. Miss Kell, the manager at the Elmwood Hotel where we stayed and played. She was grossly understaffed, and yet she made every effort out of her way sometimes to make sure that we were taken care of in our rooms, in our big area that we played in, making sure we had the coffee and the water and our trash was dumped. And the hotel, it was really warm that first day, and they tried to find the solution. They discovered the problem Sunday morning, and when they went outside to look at the breaker box attached to the unit, the breaker box had actually been stolen. That was the problem. In case you didn't know, now you know. So they had it replaced, and Monday was nice, man. Monday was super cool in there. Saturday was rough, and Sunday was warm. And I know somebody complained about that, and that's fine. But anyway, Kel went out of her way to make sure that we were just taken care of. And Miss Kel and her team, I just thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then last, but certainly not least, probably the biggest thanks has to go to my wife and my kids. I play this game as a hobby. I host the event as part of my hobby. And I'm down here in my little war room, my man cave, my chapel, as I call it sometimes. And I've got my stuff and my things, and I'm just surrounded by my toys. And I couldn't do any of that if my wife didn't support me in it. My kids have their own dice trays and dice. My son has his own Access Now, his classic board. He sets up the pieces. I'm sure you've seen me talk about this before on my channel, but it was a huge sacrifice for them to allow me to be gone for so much time. I know that, Rick's got 3 kids in my age, Madman, and up in Chicago's got 3 kids around my kid's age. And it was a big sacrifice for his family to let him come down too, especially because the week prior they were all sick. So to Rick's family, thank you. But my family, I could not do this without them. My wife wrote everyone's names on the back of 20 tickets for every person. We had 36 people at 20 tickets. That's 720 tickets she wrote names on for you. Not for me, for you. For you, for me. Whatever. She stickered all of our cups. She kept me organized. She kept me on task. Hey, this is a priority. Let's get this done. She is just so wonderful. My wife is such a saint, and literally cannot say enough nice things about my wife. And she's not going to watch this video, but whatever. If you're friends with her on Facebook or you have her phone number or something, just text her and be like, hey, you're awesome. I seriously could not have done this without her and without my kids. They came and visited me on Sunday and Monday for a little bit, and it was a good time. It was my kids like to ride the elevator, so that was fun. But just the support. I've been playing this game for a long time. I have been. But I really dove into it when we moved up here to St. Charles. And gosh, this game has just been such a great vent for me. It's been such a... I'm not even thinking of the right words now. It's relieving to come down here and just piddle or play with, my little plastic army man, or play a YouTube game, or organize something or whatever in my little area. And it gives me, it's refreshing. And she makes a lot of sacrifices to make that happen. Some nights I'll go upstairs and we'll watch TV together, watch a movie or whatever, but there's a lot of nights I'm down here just goofing around, doing my own thing, because it's healthy for my mind, and she understands that and encourages that. And I thank you so much, sweetheart, from the bottom of my heart. I love you so much, and none of this would have happened without your support. Well, I think that I have drabbled on long enough, babbled on long enough. I will say, though, someone accidentally left their calculator. I think it's Jeremy's Triple Crown. And my kids have just been playing with this thing like crazy. So thank you for accidentally leaving that, or purposefully leaving. I don't know. That's it. I'm the chaplain. Thanks for tuning in. I'm praying for you.